Happened today. It's Sabbath now. Um, there was still some witchcraft spells being cast against me um, because I met a territorial soup kitchen narcissist um, who was quite intrigued. Um, but anyways, they were trying to stop me casting spells, which will ultimately fail, and God won't let them destroy a true believer. But the soup kitchen is closed today, and they were closed for Thanksgiving yesterday too. Some people decided to bring in like their leftovers, like the leftovers their family ate. And I know at least one of these people was a believer, like a good person that actually wanted to help. So I'm not saying this person is perfect. I know very little, but just by looking at them, I could tell that they were doing this to help people, and that is rare. Um, sometimes that does happen. As hard as it is to believe that there are actually people that want to help, and so there was like a lot of Thanksgiving food and pie and drinks, and so I showed up. It was after it got dark, and I stayed for an hour or two. Um, it was in the parking lot of the soup kitchen, and not many people knew about it, so a lot of people didn't go. And it was also Thanksgiving, so those with family would be visiting. Um, a lot of people, like I think in the homeless shelter, they might have even had something in the shelters, which is probably why those people. I'm only assuming that in the homeless shelter they don't normally serve food, but they might have had something for Thanksgiving because I didn't see many people there. Um, and probably part of that is it's outside and it was cold. But I showed up and a few other people did too, and they had blankets and things, and I got the blanket, and I made a video on this the other day. But they did say that they were going to be back at noon the next day. And the guy also asked me, "Are you going to come back?" And I said, "Oh, probably not." Or I said no because or like, "You get enough?" And I said yes. And actually, I didn't get enough. I thought I got enough, but then I ate too much. So maybe I had enough. But I also needed more for my dogs. I ordered more dog food, and because of Thanksgiving, it's taking 3 to 5 days to deliver. It's supposed to be next day. I checked, their food is like going to be gone tomorrow, and it hasn't even started shipping yet. And I don't know why they wouldn't ship it on Black Friday, because everything is open on Black Friday. And also, today is Sabbath. So, it's Sabbath, and that's why it's Black Friday. Essentially, it gets dark so early now. So, Sabbath starts on Friday when the sun goes down. And when people get off work, the sun is almost down. And they get out, go to a store. While they're in that store, Sabbath starts, and they've broken the Sabbath. The devil tells you Saturday is shopping day. Saturday is actually Sabbath. And Saturday actually starts Friday night when the sun goes down. So, sundown Friday to sundown Saturday is Sabbath. And then this was changed later. But who knows, at this point, all the calendar and stuff's probably wrong. It's so wrong that it might actually be correct. I don't know. But Sabbados, Saturday, is Sabbath. Um, it's not too hard to figure out, but actually that's what the word means in Spanish. Anyways, if you follow the Bible, Sabbath is on Saturday. And you can also just know this because the whole world is corrupted, and the day you're supposed to go out and go shopping is Sabbath. Which, what you're not allowed to do on Sabbath is engage in commerce to buy and sell. And the reason is so people have time off work. They get a day off work. They can relax with their family. They don't have to do anything. And that doesn't mean you're not allowed to cook something or you're not allowed to go someplace. You can go to the park, but you're not supposed to force other people to work and go to a 9 to 5 job. If you want to do something for fun, you want to go play some games or something, that's exactly what this day is for. And actually, it is Sabbath so that you can go and do what you want. Enjoy some hobbies. Like, go to the beach or something. I don't know. So, anyways, I realized I didn't have as much food as I needed. I thought the dog food had shipped. It looks like it actually has not, and I'm getting concerned. I'm trusting that God will provide for it. Um, it's like whenever I try to stock up on something, it gets ruined. Like, I got extra forks and spoons at Walmart, and then the dogs keep getting into that. It's like anything I try to get extra of so I don't need to go out in the cold or if it's snowing. Like, I just have enough reusable forks and spoons. That gets destroyed because I'm not allowed to have any stockpile, apparently. And this does remind me of the Israelites. But I didn't think that that was the same. Because I didn't think I was notified not to get reusable forks and spoons because I can't use mine. They've already been taken out of my drawers. Everything's been emptied to my cabinets and things could be removed and they weren't. So yeah, it just, everything gets annoying. It's always annoying. And then I was really happy with my dogs, like getting healthier, eating a lot of fresh meat, and then they might have to fast now for a couple days. Like, this is not right. So, um, I'm going to see what is God going to do? How is God going to provide for my dogs? And I said, like, if their food doesn't arrive tomorrow, then I'm going to have to go out and see what I can find. And the soup kitchen is closed. Um, there there are some food banks, but they're not open every day, and they want you to verify your income, which I cannot do. I am self-employed. God does not allow me to get a job, and also takes away my vehicle and my access to clean clothes. And this is on purpose, just to make sure I don't get a job. I am not allowed. I am an example that women are supposed to be stay-at-home moms. So what happens is I'm living like a homeless person, but I have a house. I have a house uh, without the working appliances, without a complete roof. um, all types of problems, all types of things dirty, plumbing issues, so it's almost homeless. It's almost homeless, but I've got a couch that's too small to sleep on, and there is some heat, but I keep it low. So this is better than homeless, but I'm saying, like, if you go to the homeless shelter, then they have a bed for you to sleep that's long enough for someone, and that one is not long enough. I have to, like, bend my legs up to fit on that. And if you're at the homeless shelter, you probably have a working bathroom, which I have not had. Like, I don't know. I assume they have showers. They probably do. But they would have toilets. That is something I did not have. And then I don't have air conditioning. And I keep the heat low. So it's like a step up from homeless because God knew that I needed these dogs. I was not going to give up these dogs. And actually, the dogs were supposed to, like, actually be an attack on me by getting dogs that would be difficult to take care of and require a lot of food and things like that. So when these are my dogs, but I was with the devil a long time. And about a year before we broke up, then he insisted that we get a really big dog. He really wanted a big dog. Um, so we had to get the biggest dog. We had to get the biggest dog available. And then he knew when there were mountain curs coming in, like we always went to this one shelter that was in the city. And then this one time we like drove out to like Lancaster, because I used to live in a part of Columbus. And there was this dog shelter. It was really cheap. You could just go dog shopping, pay $40, walk out with the dog, and it has its license. And then they give you like, they'll give you like accessories and things when they're available and food too. So it was a really nice no-kill shelter. Um, it was just easy to walk in and walk out with the dog. They didn't even really check. It was great. And then if you did have an issue with it, you could return it, too, within a certain amount of time. Or you could always bring them back too, but you ideally don't want to do that. But regardless, we always went to this one shelter, and we just go and look at dogs, because I decided one day, I think this was from God, like I was notified from God. I had this dog, like he died when he was 17. He was a miniature dachshund. Um, he was like the love of my life at that point. And then I went through a year of grieving. Said I didn't want to get any other dogs out of respect for him. And then about a year after he passed, I heard something on the radio it was like National Adopt a Dog Day or something. And then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go get a dog for my daughter, because she really held, like, when my dog was old, and he had problems holding the bathroom, so he would sometimes just go to the bathroom on your. He would always sit on my lap all these years, but like the last few months, he would just go to the bathroom like he couldn't help it, and so he would sit on my oldest daughter's lap a lot because she didn't care. I did. This is, and I felt bad too, but I still like spent a lot of time with him. I spent a lot of time with him, and I slept with him too. But during the day, he would like sit. He used to sit on my lap all day while I was at the desk, and then he started pooping. So then he sat on my daughter's lap, and so I'm like, I want to get her a dog. So then we went to the animal shelter, and there was a dog that she loved there, and she got him. And then the devil, that I thought, well, we weren't legally married. I thought we were married, but guess we probably weren't. And he was like, well, what did he say? Oh, he thought that was like a family dog, and I said no. And I said that's my daughter's dog. That's her dog. And so then he wanted to get more, so he insisted on getting the largest dog, and then the mountain cur. And mountain curs are like a really fast hunting dog. They're not the best behaved. But that's what I mean. They were pets and hunting dogs, so they don't like to bite people. But they're not good around kids. They will want to run away. They might like growl and try to run away. They don't want to attack. But their behavior is not like a domesticated pet most of the time. It took a long time to get her to this point. And even the past week, she's made a lot of improvements. Just because the instincts aren't bred out of them. So she's just really fast, really smart, so she knows how to get into everything. And when I say that this is a difficult dog, a troublesome dog to have, because and I love her, I can do fine with her, but like she just doesn't have the manners that a pet dog should have, and she's so excited, she's got so much energy, and she's so excited that it's hard to train her, because like she will want to make me happy, but she's just so excited, like she can't control herself. She knows she's not supposed to jump up, but she can't help herself, is what I'm saying. Like, you see this, there's a scratch right here, because she, like, hears a noise, and she jumps up and barks, and then she tries to get into the cover. She'll just walk right across my face. Like, she sees me, she's so excited, like, she'll claw my face and stuff, just, like, she's not trying to hurt me. But that's what I mean, she's really fast, and she doesn't have the manners. Like, manners have not been bred into mountain curs. They're supposed to be fast to, like, treeing dogs, where they get, like, squirrels, and they even got boars and things, too. They got really big animals, but they were mainly, like, for squirrels and, like, raccoons and stuff. Or, not raccoons, like fast little creatures that would run up a tree, and they would run them up the tree and bark a lot, and then their owner would come and they could get them. So, anyways, they weren't bred to have good manners. And so when she sees me, she's so excited. She jumps, and then she always claws my clothes and gets dirt on me. And then when I'm asleep, she scratches me. Now, it's not like some of these scratches are not from dogs, but like I just have one scratch here. That is from her. Sometimes I'll get one scratch on my face from her. But when I get scratches that are not from dogs, they are different. They're more like from a cat claw, and they're in weird places. There's too many of them in the same location. So anyways, what the heck am I even talking about? I don't even know. Oh yeah, I'm like out of dog food. I'm out of dog food. So then I decided, even though I said I wasn't going to go, they said they were going to be there in the parking lot at around noon. Like, okay, I'll go back today. And I pray God order my steps. I don't always pray this, actually. I only have a few times. But I decided to pray it today. And then I go, and it's almost 20 minutes after. So, based on what happened the night before, it was about that long before they even set up the tables and had things out. So I thought it would definitely still be there, because like, people would show up and eat there. So I thought for sure that I wasn't, because it was like 12:18, and they said that they were going to be there at noon. And they had like plates, and people would just stand around and talk and visit, It was like 2 hours last night, so I assumed I'm 18 minutes late, they'll still be there. And when I show up, like, and I go around to my bike and no one's there. So I think they didn't show up at all. Because the guy also did ask me if I was going to come. I said no. And they just didn't have as many people as they thought. And maybe if he sent it with somebody else, they might not have even responded or got back to him. Maybe I'll try to go again tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe they went back later in the evening and didn't tell me, and someone else got the food. I might try to stop by again tomorrow. I don't know. It depends if the weather is bad or not. So anyways, then I start like kind of heading back towards my house, and then I run into the man who I I spoke to like the first full day I went to the soup kitchen, and I can tell he's an addict and he's missing teeth and stuff, but he was the one that was blocking me at the copy machine, and then he was walking and was like, "Oh, I saw you at the thing at the Thanksgiving community event, like the free Thanksgiving meal. I saw you there, but I didn't say hello or anything, really, because." And one reason I'm sure is because he was on the lookout for the narcissist. He let the narcissist know when I was there. I would bet, okay, 100% this is what I believe, but there's a small little chance that he was just there for another reason, because he was just standing right when he come in, and he didn't even have a plate of food or anything. But then there were also people walking around, and people that were involved with the charity repair group too. So some of these were probably angels, like on the other team. So they might have been keeping people in check, and they could tell in watching what they did. And so if he tried to talk to me, then they would have seen it. So there was probably more than one reason that he didn't speak to me. He's like, "Oh, I saw you there, but I didn't say anything." And he looked like he was high. He looked like he was messed up. And I said, I just went there and no one was there. We talked about some stuff for a while, and he was kind of out of it. But he was still able to hold, he was still functional. But mentioned some more stuff. I don't remember exactly. Like, I tried to talk to him about, like, quitting and certain things that he's doing, but then I said, I'll go back over there and make sure they're, just double check before I head out, and then walk, like, a block back, because I didn't get very far before I ran into him. And then in the parking lot, and then he said, I'll get a coffee and stuff, and I said, "Oh, it's closed today." The soup kitchen was closed. But then I did get to talk to him for a while, and it's like, and he was smoking, he was saying, like, he doesn't like, because the other homeless people ask him for his cigarettes, and he says no, but he doesn't like to. He doesn't want to make him sad, but of course he doesn't have much money. So then it's like they're asking him for stuff. He doesn't have much money. It's like, yeah, you gotta tell him no. But he does, but he doesn't like to. And then he was talking about the bikes and how, so we were standing out in front of the soup kitchen, and I said, "You gotta report when somebody does it." Or I said, "Do you know who's damaging him?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Who's doing it?" And he didn't tell me, but, he said, "If somebody messes with it, I just stab them." I said, and I'm like, "No, you can't stab people because they damage your bike, because that's not fair. But you're supposed to tell people in the office." And he was saying, "Well, the people in the office won't do anything, because, well, what they said, the people in the office, they're not gonna, like, fix the bike or anything. You have to go to the police." I said, "Yeah, but they can kick him out and not let him come back." That's what I told him that a few times. It's like, yeah, they can't make that person give you money or repair your bicycle. The police have to do that, but they can. It's still, they run this facility, and they can stop them from coming back, though. They can ban them. And if somebody is damaging other people's property, they should be banned from the soup kitchen. Like, this is one reason that other people that aren't addicts don't go. This is what I'm talking about happening today. And then, based on what I'd overheard, and I was just talking to him, like, is everybody here an addict? He basically said, almost, yeah, or pretty much. All the women are, is everyone here an addict? Maybe the female homeless shelters have food. I don't know. They might not. But he said there's no good men's homeless shelters. And he said he doesn't talk to the women, like, because he said they're always trying to fight people. And then and I overheard them talking about, like, prostituting themselves he said they don't think of themselves as addicts. They just think about when they're going to get their next fix. But he was, I said, are you on meth? He's like, no, I just use pot. So pot's not good. And I was telling him how pot makes you stupid. Like it lowers your brain activity. So none of that's good. I said, and the cigarettes, and that costs more than food. So, and then I was saying how and if you can't afford it, then you got to get it from somebody else, and you're like a slave to them. And so that's why you need to not do this, is so people can't control you. So maybe that would help a little bit. I know this is an addict, and he was saying that they don't want to quit. That's right. But then he actually seems like he's like for an addict, addicts lie all the time. You can't trust an addict at all. But it seemed like a lot of things he's telling me are true, and then some things he's telling me are lies. So this is weird. Kind of seems like he doesn't want to be doing certain things, but he is, and he is controlled. He's working for the narcissist. Probably the narcissist is the one that's paying him $20 a day that he uses to go get a pack of cigarettes. And anyways, but it's like would not be like, because these homeless people, they want to fight a lot, but they're addicts and they're not very stable on their feet. So if an addict tried to stab you, they could stab you, but they're not going to be very effective compared to somebody that is aware of their surround. What I'm saying is, if an addict tries to get you, or an addict hits you, it's not going to be as hard as somebody that is of sound mind. This is another thing I was saying, don't you think maybe addicts should just be taken, picked up and taken for treatment, and they do, there's a treatment where they can remove the addiction. They should be forcibly taken and put in a treatment facility, some type of medical, or say there's Trump mental institutions. They should take the addicts to there, forcibly treat them to remove the addiction and keep them from getting the drug, because they can't control. And he actually kind of agreed with, I think he agreed with me, because right now, they're just out, these people are addicted. They can't say no, and they're kind of like walking zombies. But also, the narcissist is able to bribe them easily with a cigarette or a beer or whatever, anything like that. And then they'll do whatever, they don't care. And so they can be used to cause trouble. If, say, a normal person wants to come into the soup kitchen and get a meal that is not an addict, then somebody like the narcissist can come, bribe them with a beer, and then they drop poison into their food. Or they damage, they key their vehicle, or they break their bicycle. And this is what I am seeing happen. The soup kitchen has been taken over by addicts, and then the addicts can't mastermind anything. But that's what I mean. They're like zombies, and then the mastermind, you'll have something like a narcissist, and they just bribe them or tell them what to do. And then they'll do it because they're addicted to the drug. To get a cigarette, they'll probably do this. And I don't know how much cigarettes are now, 25 cents, 50 cents. They will probably key somebody's car to get a cigarette. And this is what I am saying. And this is why the soup kitchen has now been taken over by the kingdom of darkness. And it is not available to the normal citizens. I'm going to try to meet with the mayor at some point, and if I'm able to. I just saw some videos with the mayor in it, and she seemed like a nice person, she wants to do good. So this is something you would not know unless you go to the soup kitchen. So God is sending me to the soup kitchen, making sure that I am poor, making sure I don't have access to a vehicle, clean clothes, or any human that would want to help. That is all blocked. So that was actually what is needed to get me to the soup kitchen, because I wasn't going to go unless I absolutely had to. And now I'm at that point. I'm not restored yet, because I had to be in such a bad position that I'm going to the soup kitchen. And apparently no one else is. And when I noticed there's some good servers, they seem like believers there, truly wanting to help people. And then there was one man there who I believe was an enemy, based on him trying to speak the spell over me, like Like, well, I see that you're afraid, when you showed up and you're afraid, and I understand you don't really know what to do the first day. I was there for like 2.5 days or something, and I said, I'm not afraid, but somebody messed with my bike. You know what? Look at the video and see. I said, I think someone broke my bike. So I said, it fell over, but it looked like somebody smashed, because the gears, the way that the numbers were broken off, it looked like somebody would take something heavy like a bike lock or a lock and smash it into my gear dial to do that. Falling over is not going to do that. Like, because it was really windy. I'm like, well, the wind could have blown my bike over, but that would not have done this. It looked like somebody smashed it, like they would have had to try to do that. Or maybe they took a knife or something. They'll probably stand in a way where it doesn't show. But if the narcissist bribed an addict to do that, then it's going to be clearly visible right on the camera. It's going to... And this is what I was talking about. So then after I talked to him, I got on my bike, and I wasn't really sure what to do. I didn't go straight back home. I start heading, like, instead of going up on the block, I go down, and then I start turning. And maybe see a few different places I hadn't been to before. And there was this one little coffee place that has soup or something, and it was called, like, the meeting place. And so, and the address had like 222 in it. And because of that, I thought I need to stop here one day. But it closes at like 2 o'clock, so I never go. And I also don't have money to buy food and stuff. But I thought, here I am right next to it. I'm out here, and it's actually open, so I'm going to go in. It says the meeting place. So for my reason of going here was not to buy anything necessarily. But if it says it's the meeting place, then there is someone that I might be meeting in here. So then I go in, and I look around, and it looks nice. And there's like a family sitting, so there's like a big glass window, and there's a bike rack right to the outside. Oh, actually, before I went here, I went by the Veterans Center where they had the Thanksgiving meal, and I stopped, and there was like just some discarded boxes. So I got some free stuff, but then they had produce boxes they were giving out, and I couldn't fit anything else on my bike. And I said, unfortunately, I'm on a bike, and I can't get that. So then I stopped by, and there was just some open boxes where people had taken some stuff out and left the rest. And they left like squash, and they left some salad, and they left some apples, onions, and some garlic. So I went through, and I grabbed the garlic. I found like 3 garlic cloves, and I got those, and I got a couple of onions. Like, this is nothing that anyone messed with. They were produce boxes, so not everybody that got a box knows how to cook a squash. I saw several squashes sitting there. I didn't take it because I can't cook. But I did take the 3 bags of lettuce I saw. It'd been like 30 degrees, so the stuff, like, it wasn't going bad sitting out. It was like being in the fridge. And they were all sealed. So no one had messed with it. This is the thing. The addicts see a bag of lettuce and they see an apple, they're going to leave it alone. This is not food to them. I'm going to say, like, the people causing trouble. Like, the first one I saw somebody dump the first box I saw somebody dump trash into. Next one I saw some food in. And then the other one. And the first one I didn't see the good stuff. And then I saw the lettuce. It was like hydroponic organic or something. And I grabbed 3 bags. I might not even eat this. I don't know. It was like starting to go bad just from being a few days old, but it wasn't like from sitting out or anything because it was so cold outside. And so I kept one, and I walked around with 2 of them, and I dropped them in front of somebody's house that I thought was in town because I saw 2 vehicles there and they had kids. So I didn't want to knock on their door. I just dropped a couple bags in front of their house. Maybe they'll eat it. Maybe they won't, but I wasn't going to eat it. But they were just sitting outside this building, and the people like had littered and left their trash out there. So anyways, so then I grabbed, so it's like I got the produce box after all, because I showed up like, this is 2 days later at this point, and they're still there. No one has picked up the trash. It's just sitting outside, like the Thanksgiving Day event, no one's cleaned up after, so they probably will do that once they get back from visiting family. And probably the city workers are on holiday. And so then I go to the meeting place, and I park my bike, and then there's like a family there, like a small family there sitting, and I think one of them at least looked at me through the window. They could be non-player characters for all I know. It was kind of weird, like kind of like the NPCs. At least one of them. Sometimes, like, people notice something and they give me a weird look, and sometimes it's like an emotionless look, and that's when I say the NPC. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a different type of being, because they look at me, but they don't have seem to have any emotion behind it. So that's kind of creepy. There's the zombie people, but not like the addicts. They look like people that have it together, but it's almost like there's no soul in there or something. But they're not narcissists. Narcissists actually, like, they're something different. They're silly. They're like, little mischievous spirits. But this, like, it's not. When I say NPC, it's almost like it looks at me. It sees. It acknowledges. It recognizes something. But like this, there's like a void of emotion or anything. It's weird. I see some of those. There's different types of humanoids walking around. They all technically look human, but they're not. Not. Or they're something. Maybe they're something different. A different type of angel or something that came down, because they don't behave the way I do. And they don't behave the way a narcissist does. And they don't behave the way a Pharisee does. Yeah, I don't know. And I go in and I look around it a little bit. It's not very big. It's kind of like a Starbucks, but kind of nicer. And then I go to the counter and there's a guy there, and I said, I've never been here. I'm just looking. And I said, do you have any food that's about to go bad that you give away? Any food that's about to go bad? 'Cause I was asking because, like, actually, I didn't get any food for me. And I was thinking maybe if they did, I could get something to take to eat. And to bring back something for my dogs. So, like, if you got any food that's about to go bad that you give to charity or anything like that. You said, well, we give that to this homeless shelter for men. It's right around the corner. Or something. Not right around the corner. It's like right around it's right around this area. I don't remember exact words he said. But basically, their food that's about to go bad, they donate to this men's homeless shelter. Now, the addict that I had just stopped and talked to, he said there are no good men's homeless shelters. He might have even been walking from that homeless shelter for all I know, because he was walking from that direction. So, at this point, it's like pretty clear that this was a lie, and I don't trust an addict. You should never trust an addict, because he's actually working for a narcissist because he is addicted, obviously, to some kind of drug, and they are trying to get me. And he actually doesn't want to. He just came up and he apologized. He's like, I'm sorry. But he's like, I'm sorry. I'm trying, like, my facial expression, I'm trying to show you how cognizant and aware he is. He is actually a functional addict, but he's like, I'm sorry. Like this. Like, he's able to talk and understand things, but he's not all there. That's what I'm saying. He's like, yeah. Like, today he's like, and he was talking and making sense and stuff. But it was still, like, doing stuff that it's like his brain function is way down. But yeah, he was able to remember things from a couple days ago. He was able to understand what I was saying. He said, yeah, those bike lights are good to have. And so hopefully that's not like some threat. But I'm surrounded my bike with angels, so whatever happens to it is only what God allows and has intended to happen. So then he told me there's like a, I don't know if it's recovery, something. There is a men's homeless shelter right nearby this meeting place. This is an expensive coffee place. It is better than Starbucks from the look of it. I don't know. I like Starbucks more probably, but like the inside it looked fancier. It looked more upscale, and it wasn't like national. It was a local coffee shop, and they donated their expensive foods and their leftovers to the men's homeless shelter where the addicts stay. And when I asked for something, and I don't deserve it, I'm saying they don't know. They probably assume that I've got money to buy something. But I'm saying is when I ask, do you have anything about to go bad you're going to throw away or that you donate to charity? They give it to the homeless shelter. Well, who stays at the homeless shelter? It's the addicts. And the addicts are like zombies, totally out of their mind. They're not even aware of their surroundings. They don't have the ability to appreciate anything. So they're getting this high-end, like, expensive food from the coffee shop that I can't afford. And this isn't a pity party for me, okay? I'm not trying to whine and cry here. This is like for all of society, what has happened. And this is what the devil has done. The devil is creating zombies here. They are complicit. They also decided to do these drugs. But anyways, they are out of it. They don't know what's going on. So they have taken over the soup kitchen. They have taken over all the homeless shelters. And so the restaurants and everything that are donating food, like this fancy coffee place donating their leftover pastries and desserts to the men's homeless shelter where the addicts stay. And they don't know what's going on. I mean, they will eat out of the garbage like a raccoon. And so they don't appreciate this. They probably don't even care. So they get this stuff and, to them it's the same as something from Dollar Tree. And they just want to get the drugs. Is what I have seen is they just keep going back to get the drugs. They'll do anything. They'll trade the food to get the drug. And then the poor people that are not on drugs and the families in the community are too afraid to go to the homeless shelter. And I know that this is why. Because both the narcissist and the man behind the counter, one of the servers who was working for the Kingdom of Darkness, both said this. They were trying to manifest that I would be afraid, as what they were doing to me is what they had done to other people before. So they have it so the addicts have taken over the soup kitchen. So regular people can't use the soup kitchen now. Well, they could, but they're too afraid. And then the restaurants donate their unused foods to the homeless shelter where the addicts stay. So instead they should be taken, the government should come round them up. If you're on drugs, clearly you can tell, you can see. These people, they're stabbing each other. They are fighting each other. They are prostituting themselves. And they are loudly admitting and saying these things just in public. And they don't have the ability to understand. They can't comprehend. They don't appreciate, like most of them. A few do. A few do. But the vast majority are not, they're not sane enough to comprehend or appreciate that there are churches and people, like people going to churches and, donating and trying to help. And they don't even care. They don't have enough cognizance to be able to understand. And then the people that need it, that are in credit card debt, they can't really afford certain things for their family, are not able to use these services. They are not getting the leftover food. It's all going to the homeless people. So the homeless people should be in the Trump mental. I'm not saying all homeless, not all homeless. What I'm saying is there are probably good homeless people. But I'm saying there are probably homeless people that are not addicted to drugs, that are not going to the soup kitchen because they are afraid. And they might not have been afraid to start with, but if they didn't realize that there were agents for the Kingdom of Darkness speaking curses over them, they were casting spells on them to make them afraid. If they didn't realize this and counter their spell, then they would become afraid. So that's how it would work. Is if you're not a true believer, their spells can work. And if you don't know how to reverse it and stop it, their spells can work. So he was speaking a spell over me to make me afraid. So that makes me believe this is what they had done to the people before. And so there are probably homeless people that don't have food to eat, that aren't addicts, and then they're too afraid to go in the soup kitchen. There are probably people that have homes. They can't really afford their bills. They are too afraid to go to the soup kitchen. They're not getting any of this donated food. It's going to the homeless shelters that are taken over by the addicts. So when I say I'm sorry I might be like, this is late, so I might be like misspeaking here a little bit. So not all homeless are addicts, but I would say that most are. So there are probably some homeless people that are not addicts, that don't want to hurt anybody, and they are too afraid to go to the soup kitchen. They're not able to get this. So maybe they dig through the trash or do other things. And so then the addicts are easy to bribe. The narcissists bribe them to mess with people because they can't plan anything. They're not planning, I want to target this person. But then they get bribed. They get like a beer, or they get like a cigarette, or they get some meth or something, or they get some pot, and then they go and mess with somebody. And then they're like going like this on the camera. You probably can see what they're doing because they are so out of it they can't even really hide. Like, even if they're trying to hide it, they're not doing a good job. I bet it all showed up on the camera. So I don't know if this guy really checked the camera or not. He might not have, because the guy that said, if something's going on, report it to me or this other person in the office, and he was the one that was working for the Kingdom of Darkness. So we'll see. Maybe he looked at the video, maybe he didn't. Maybe he did, and he'll say, I didn't see anything on it. And then when he said, report it to me or the other person in the office, you see, God sends me in places like to render judgment, for karma, I guess. So like, and God has given me discernment. So when I walk in, I'm usually veiled immediately, so that I behave like, so I behave without, so God gives me discernment so I can see who people are. I can see who's good. I can see who's bad. I can see like people's intentions. But my first meeting with people, that is normally, like, if I'm on a mission, that's normally veiled, so that I act like I don't know, and then they're going to treat me how they would treat others, or, how they would have treated me. So I don't try to block it. They just treat me a certain way. And then God removes that veil. It shows me what they did and what they do to others. So then I know what the problem is and what needs to be fixed. So, anyways, maybe he checked the video, maybe he didn't. Because if the wicked one, so there's good people back there. If the wicked one is the one that's reviewing these videos, then maybe he didn't find anything. I don't know. Maybe he did. But this is something, like, if there are other people in the office, I could always mention to them as well. And I don't want to get there, so I don't know. It's not up to me, because, like, it's up to God. Because God's plan's the best, so nothing is going to happen unless God wants it to. There was ways that I could have, like, fought back over things that were done to me. God blocked it. And then I was given clear signs. Like, I tried to go and get evidence to go see a lawyer. And then $70 worth of memory cards were fried, like, right then. So when they use these weapons, there's vehicles, and they'll drive by, and they'll use types of EMF weapons or something to fry your memory cards. And they're only allowed to do what God allows them. So they normally, like, all this time, weren't allowed to do that. And then when I get all this evidence, then what happens is, probably, I'm assuming, based on what happens in my life, God's like, okay, you're allowed to do it today. And so then they get the green light, and then they fry my memory cards, and then I have to go charge $70 worth of cards. And so that's my sign. If I try to get evidence to sue them again, then something worse is going to happen. The whole camera will probably break, and I won't be able to take any pictures or videos. So then I knew this is what God wanted to do. And then I know if I continue and pursue something that I'm not allowed to, something worse will happen. So at first I had just a little warning not to get a job, and then worse things happen just to make sure I don't. But certain people know things I don't, and they're not necessarily normal people. When they say they're angels, they are in human bodies. It's just like they have more knowing of why they're here and what they're supposed to do. So, like, when you come into your body, then you forget. It's by design, you forget. Like, in the spirit, you have a lot more knowledge. You might have been in another life. This might be your first life. But you knew things in the spirit. You knew you were a being before. But you forget that to come in to be able to experience Earth. Just like when I meet with somebody the first time, I'm veiled. So, like, I can't see if they're a demon or an angel or something. So that I get to have that real, authentic experience with them. Because it would be different if I knew, oh, this is a demon right away. So they have to treat me like the way they're going to treat me first. And then God shows me who they are, and I know. But, so this is what's happened. Like, all of these resources, food assistance, like, because I believe, like, I think SNAP needs to be gotten rid of, and it all needs to go back to charity. It was actually what Jesus wanted the people to be able to do, charity. But in this case now, there are addicts walking around. It also says in the Bible not to take their sorcery, their pharmacia. So this is legal and illegal drugs are sorcery. So obviously people under the influence of sorcery would be disbelievers, unless they were actively trying to stop and weren't able to. So if they're not trying to quit, then they are disbelievers. So they can be trying and failing, and that's different. If this makes any sense to you. But yeah, the sorcery is a sin. And Jesus was questioning the doctors at the time, and they had their own sorceries. But you could say there are worse pharmacia, pharmacia, worse drugs, worse potions than the ones the doctor prescribes, and those are on the streets. And these people are like walking zombies, easily bribed by narcissists to mess with people. They have taken over the soup kitchen. They are getting all of the resources. They are getting the free housing. They are getting the luxury, like expensive, fancy coffee desserts. And then I'm like, here I am. I don't have anyone. I have no friends. I have no family. Um, And even if I had a friend at the soup kitchen, then somebody gives them a cigarette, then they would backstab me because they're an addict. So that's what I'm saying. These people are used as weapons to block believers and to block targeted individuals from getting food assistance that they might need. So this is information I might need to take to the mayor. And then so I got several apples, some onions, and some garlic, which I'm not cooking, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Maybe I'll try to eat some raw, but they're not very good. I don't know if I'm even going to eat the lettuce. But it was interesting to see what was in the box. Like, if my kitchen was clean and things were functional, then I could have cooked them and used them, and that would have been good food. Um, so not everybody felt the same way, because they just left it there to rot outside of the building. They didn't even throw the stuff in the trash. But anyways, after this, I stopped at home, and then I had some leftovers, and then I ate some more leftovers and gave the dogs a little bit. And then their food's getting low. I'm getting a little concerned. I said, I still trust you, God, but it's not looking good. I'm gonna need like another miracle for somebody to like give me food again somehow. It's supposed to snow tomorrow. I'm on a bicycle. A lot of people are gone for the holidays, so I don't know what's going to happen. The soup kitchens are closed. The food banks are closed, and they want you to give them a W-2, which I don't have. I'm like the only person in the whole city. The city actually requires you to turn in a W-2, like something with paying your property tax or your city taxes or something. All homeowners need to give them a W-2 or something. And then I went and I said, I don't have one. And they didn't know what to do because this had never happened before. I said, I don't have one. Have you ever heard of a stay-at-home mom before? And then separated and paid cash for a cheap house? Like, you've never heard of that before? It was an inexpensive house, I would say. My house was less than $100,000. It was quite an inexpensive house. And anyways, I do like this house, and even having paid for the roof and everything, it still would have been less than $100,000. So, but everything was sabotaged. Anyways, they're probably going to ask for it again, and I'll have to go back to their little. It's not IRS, their city tax place. I have to say I still don't have a W-2. I said, well, what are you going to do? Because God moved me here. They're not going to kick me out. And I'll just have to stay in there. It's like, where's your manager then? Because I don't have a W-2. So the city could choose to enforce or not enforce, but this is a situation to where there's no such thing as a stay-at-home mom. In the entire city, no one else owns a house without a W-2. Nobody? This is nuts. Doesn't make any sense to me. And, anyways, what am I even talking about? Okay, so I go to the gym. I bike down to the gym after I feed my dogs and stuff. I'm at home a little while. I drink the rest of my pop that I had picked up the night before. It's kind of cold, and I'm not biking that fast. Just I'm just fine. Show up at the gym. I wasn't upset or wasn't unhappy. I just wasn't happy because I was hoping to bring home some more Thanksgiving food for my dogs because I knew I didn't have enough, and I was concerned the food's going to run out, and it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. And I cannot go and put a big bag of pet food on my bicycle. My basket is not that big, so I guess I could go and spend $10 for 2 days worth of dog food. That I can't afford that for myself. So that when you buy the big bags, then it's a lot cheaper. And that's even something that I'm trying to get out of debt now, so I'm trying not to spend extra on this. Being able to go to the soup kitchen might allow me to get out of debt at some point if I don't spend any money on food, or if I have to 2 days a week, then maybe I just won't go further into debt. So I don't want to go and get a little bag of dog food, and now it's Sabbath too, so I won't be able to anyways. The little bags, it's going to be like $10 a day to feed them with this. This is nuts. When you buy the big bag, it can be like $1 or $2 a day. And then I'm at the gym, and I just go in the bathroom for a while, and I hear, while I'm in there, I stay in there a long time, I hear a woman on the phone. And she's talking to somebody, like coaching them through, like this is a knowledgeable person. And, she was on the phone with somebody, said she was in isolation. They're trying to get you. They're trying to isolate you. Trying to target. That she was using all of these like words that you use with a narcissist. So she had probably been with a narcissist before. It's like I heard it right away. I'm like, oh my goodness, they need my knowledge. No, but anyways, and this was a long phone call, and I stayed in the bathroom. I was in the bathroom for like a half hour because they got the big handicap bathroom. I don't think there are any handicapped women that go to this gym now. So I went in that big one, and I was in there, and I'm just like hanging out and washing my hands a long time, and I'm listening to this phone conversation. I can't hear both sides, but I hear the one, and I wasn't even trying to at first. That just right away, she was talking to somebody who's upset. They obviously have been discarded by a narcissist, or they're with a narcissist, and she's trying to help them. And then she's speaking all this like spiritual warfare stuff and praying on the phone, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And then she like asked God for guidance or something, like seriously. And she was praying, and she prayed like that God would send the guidance and what to do and stuff, and like, and I'm right there in the bathroom. um, so anyways, and then I'm kind of like standing there, and I wrote down like my text number, because I have something on the computer where I can text, and then I kind of like wait, and then because she's like at this point has left most of the bathroom, but is still like in the doorway, and she is standing in the corner and praying. I'm kind of like standing there overhearing, like she knows how to pray, so that was good. And then I just wrote something out, and about how I have information and who I was, and I put the little text number, and I handed her the paper, and then I didn't say anything, and then I left. So because while she was praying this, I was there. Like, God put me in that bathroom. I had to use the bathroom, and then that woman came in, and then, and she said this stuff right in my earshot, and it was like all trigger words for narcissistic abuse. And then she prayed, and like while she was praying, asked for help or guidance or something from God, and I was right there. And I'm like, oh. And then I had a little notepad in my bag, and then the first pen I got, my pen, and I liked this pen because it had my name. It said Jennifer on it. It was one of those free pens, like from somebody running for politics. And then, like, it was all taken apart in all the different pieces. So I think somebody got in my bag and messed with this and just disassembled my pen. Like, just to let me know that you got in my bag? I don't even know. I don't understand this, so. But anyways, it could have also just fallen apart. But this is very, very weird, because I had this small bag like this, and the pen just fit in the bottom. So I don't even think it could fall apart. So maybe demons went in there and unscrewed my pen, and like all the pieces were apart. I don't understand this. So I was trying to get this together, and I was spending like a minute, and then I couldn't find all the pieces. Like, I like this pen, and I had a backup one, and then the plumbers came and touched the toilet and then touched my pens. I'm like, and so I gave them, like, I took the box of pens and I put them outside. I'm like, yeah, take these. I got extra. They know what they did. Guy comes up with toilet hands and just grabs into my pens, like, on purpose. This is something I didn't put. Those charity people that do home repair, touching toilets and not washing hands, touched my new hand towels when I don't have a washing machine, touched all my stuff, and then, oh, like, can I use a pen? And then, and I gave them a mechanical pencil, and they're like, it's not good enough. And they came and they grabbed my pens with toilet hands that I had sitting out. So anyways, so I had one left and they broke it. Anyways, then I found one other. I dug through and I had one other pen in my bag, and I wrote my information down. I handed it to her. And then, Reese, Reese, ugh, he gets his eye boogers on me. I gave it back. give him his boogers back. I don't want it. So, I do a few things there. And then, oh, after I talked to this woman, I had brought my pants with me. And I just, like rinsed my pants out in the sink, and then I got the soap and I hand washed a pair of pants in the sink. And then like one of the staff came in as I was doing this and saw it, and then she stayed in the bathroom a while and was trying to wait for me to leave before she came out. I was like, I went over it with soap and rinsed it several times and wrung it. So like I hand washed my pants, and then I went and hung them up. Then I came back to wash my hands with soap. She came out and saw me at that point, and then I was washing my hands and left. And then she was back at the counter when I went to sign up for something. And she was acting a little weird around me. She probably told the other people. Maybe she didn't. She might not have said anything. But it wasn't the reaction I expected. Because, like, I expect either someone to not care at all, or maybe to feel bad. But it was kind of like maybe she thought she was better than me a little bit, or was weirded out. But, you know, I already come in. They know I'm on a bicycle. I come in all the time. I'm on a bike. I wear dirty clothes a lot of the time. They already know this. I mean, are you surprised now that I washed a pair of my pants in the bathroom sink? Like, I washed it. Isn't that good? I've got my pants mostly clean now. So, but she probably told the other guy that was working there, and that guy, like, he recognizes something. He knows something I don't know. He apparently recognizes me from somewhere. And this is such a weird thing. I saw in the spirit myself and two other kind of like cartoony humanoid bodies. It was me, but it was in different lives. So, I have been alive before, apparently, and this person at the gym recognized me. And so this woman there, she didn't recognize me, but she saw me washing my pants in the bathroom sink, and then she probably told the other guy. And then there was another employee at the gym I told the day before about spiritual warfare. I said, do you know anything about that? And that wasn't the one there. They'll probably all get together and laugh and talk, I don't know. And they'll be like, oh, she was washing her pants in the sink. And it was like, oh, she just mentioned something about spiritual warfare. I don't know. But they did see me come in with a 5-gallon bucket, and I put like bags of chips in there before. Probably thought, and they laughed when I said, can you hold this? Because it wouldn't fit in the locker. A 5-gallon bucket, and I had bananas and like 4 bags of chips in there. And then I took a bag out, and I ate the whole bag of chips, and then I went in the gym. So they probably already think something's up. I don't know. But, yeah, I guess I kind of look like a homeless person. What else even happened? Well, I guess the big takeaway is that even this addict, that was one of the better ones, was working for the narcissist to entrap me because he was controlled. And I was even going to give him a bike, but then I know what happened is he would lose it. He'd trade it for some meth, probably. And then he said there's no homeless shelters, but then there was one nearby, and they even got the leftover food from this expensive high-end coffee place, to where I walked in, I would not be able to get it. So, this is what's happened. The devil has stolen all of the resources that are supposed to go to the poor people. And if we get rid of SNAP, which I believe we need to, then the addicts, the druggies need to go to the mental institutions first, or they will take over all of, like, so we need to get rid of SNAP, and we should move to something like soup kitchens, to have more soup kitchens. But as it stands now, with the addicts out on the street, they are scaring people so they can't go and get the food here. And this is probably what has happened in every other country when they had food lines. And so people would go without. They would just take over, and most people would be too afraid to go. And so they might go hungry. And this is what I have seen. The devil is creating zombie armies and using them to take over the resources that are supposed to help impoverished people. Did anything else happen today? Trying to think. Probably. Yeah, so I met the woman in the bathroom. I didn't get her name or anything. I just gave her my text number. You know, these people, they got my number. They normally don't get back to me, but maybe one day they will. It's like I meet people, I try to make connections with them. They're too afraid or they don't contact me back. It's to be expected at this point. It's not, you know, maybe they did contact me back and God, like, blocks the message, and or the devils do, but God allows them to. Because that's not, like, the plan at the moment. There's supposed to be some timing. Everything's supposed to align. So, I don't know, but I need more food for tomorrow. I've got a few things in my freezer I could make, but it's not enough for the dogs. So, unless the food arrives tomorrow, which it hasn't shipped yet, and it's also Sabbath, so I can't just go and buy it either. Um, then, if I have no other choice than Sabbath, I would. But, like, this being Sabbath, God knows I don't buy or sell on the Sabbath. I'm put in a situation now, so I'm going to have to go out on the bike and see how this miracle happens and dog food, like, ends up at my house. So this will have to be another miracle testimony. I'm making this video now because there's not enough dog food for tomorrow, and I ordered some, but because of Thanksgiving, it said it's going to be like 3 to 5 days before it gets here. And the soup kitchen is closed because of Thanksgiving. And then, you know, I wasn't too concerned because the guy said, we'll be back here tomorrow with more food. And then they weren't there. They weren't there. If it was just me, I could fast. But, you know, I was really happy that my dogs were plumping up a little bit. And they were just getting so happy. Maybe I spoiled them a bit. But now they might have to be starved, so. I'm just trying to think if anything else happened today. Got home. Yeah, did anything else happen? Well, I think God was telling me to take a shower because the dogs, like, I had some toiletries box, like, with soap in it, like, it's jammed way under this cabinet to where I don't know how the dogs could even get to it. But then my one dog still got in there and pulled out a soap and chewed a part of it up, like, and opened it a little bit. Most of the soap was still fine. And then also got a toothbrush out and it was just sitting on the floor. I'm like, wait a minute. When this happens, because she normally doesn't do this, but they've been pretty naughty, like, the last couple days. So she went and got a bar of soap and dropped it in the laundry room on the floor and, like, opened it a little bit so I couldn't just put it back. And there was, like, a tiny little piece that was broken off, but most of the bar was still there. And then took the toothbrush out and dropped it on the floor next to where my toiletries box was. Because my medicine cabinet is also not in my bathroom, and it's just sitting out in my garage. That's what I mean about the kingdom of darkness really gets you to where I don't have closets I can use, I don't have a bathroom cabinet I can use, just everything is dirty or inaccessible. I can't use my kitchen cabinets now. So that's where we have a mess. They're trying to make a hoard. I can't, like, this is my bedroom and my living room. And I have to have a lot of clothes because I can't wash them, so I have to be able to just put something else on once it gets dirty. What was I just talking about? My dogs need food. I have a mess. Oh, I don't even know what I was talking about. What was I? Oh, yeah, they were trying to tell me to take a bath and brush my teeth, I guess. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow and head out after sundown and buy something if, yeah, I guess I'll have to, but I can't fit a 40-pound bag of dog food on my bicycle. The basket can't even hold that much. So, and the little bags are so expensive. Like, I don't have money for this, so, you know, I wasn't too concerned because I thought I could go back and get more food the next day if I ran out, but they weren't there. They weren't there. So I guess this is just another mission from God. And the dogs, if they're starving and don't have any food, will probably destroy more of my belongings because I can't use my closets or my cabinets to put them away. And the plumber's got things dirty that were cleaned before. So it's like, that's off limits. Can't touch that. Can't put stuff here. So this is supposed to be my restoration. I don't have a restoration. This is awful. But it's Sabbath. I'm following Sabbath. I got my massages and stuff in right before it got completely dark. Yeah, they saw me, like, the one woman saw me washing my clothes in the sink, and then she's acting weird around me now, like, fine, think I'm low class. I don't care. That's fine, but it was weird because I was hoping to see a different response, like maybe feeling bad for me, but I didn't. So, but she was always nice. So, I guess you see people's true intentions, like, because I wasn't being disrespectful or anything. It wasn't like a ton of stuff. It was a pair of pants there, and you know, she saw the soap on it, so it wasn't gonna be dirtier when I was done. And I rinsed it many times, so. But yeah, they already know something is weird. Something's not normal with me. They see me coming in on my bike, so yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna end this. If I miss something, I'll put it in the next video. Yeah, dog stepped on my face, scratched my face, so that's what that is. My lips are all chapped from the weather. I even put some lip gloss on. Got some free lip gloss at the fair, but it's not enough with this cold. It feels like if I open my mouth too much, they'll start bleeding. So maybe I'm supposed to take a bath because I'm going to be restored. I don't know. I don't need to take a bath for people to come here and like repair my toilets. But if some like millionaire, billionaire stops by and wants to deposit some money in my account, then maybe I could have a bath and put something on. I had bought like a week or two ago. I bought a pair of pants that had fleece inside to wear riding on my bike because I was too cold and my pants weren't warm enough. So after I have a bath, I was gonna put those on. It's really exciting. So, oh, this is something else I wanted to mention. I was talking to a man the other night, and I asked him, like, if there's a place he knows you can get your clothes washed. I said, I just need a ride to the laundromat. That's my problem. Because I got these big boxes. I can't take it on my bicycle. And no one, people offer to help and then they back out, they cancel. And maybe it's because they got fleas after they helped me last time. That could be it. Because you're going to get fleas probably if you help me. This is what God does. Well, he said, he said, he said, he just throws them away and gets more. And that's kind of like me. I just have to get more when they get dirty. Like, this is something that the homeless people and addicts need, is a way to get their clothing washed. Or maybe they would take you to the laundromat and then you could wash your own clothes, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. It's Sabbath. Maybe something good will happen tomorrow. I can only hope.